young Parapa. Do not fear the universe. Thing go wrong, you fight back and kill the enemy. Let vengeance be your blade.
What you say? You want to fight me? I will destroy you. I will strike you down. I am Parasa.
Hello and welcome to another video from Paraplayers, and today we're back up at Proving Grounds in Selby, the home of Yorkshire Paintball, and everything was against me today. It wasn't even as if it was yin and yang, just one thing after another, and I'll probably go through some of that today, but I'll give you a little sniff of what we're going to be looking at today. We're going to be taking a couple of Enola Gay smoke grenades out onto the field, and we're going to be testing those. I actually brought a samurai sword, which I was told, unfortunately, I'm not allowed to use because it breaks health and safety rules, because I literally can bash somebody's friggin' head in with it, because it's heavy. It has to be rubber. So if you want to run around the field with a rubber dildo, you're perfectly allowed to do it, but bring a samurai sword, and it's a massive no-no. So as I mentioned, we are going to be looking at a few different things today, but first of all, let's just have a look around the actual starting area. Lots of different pieces of kit in here, and it's always interesting to be able to walk around and look at some of the different weapons in here. Some of them you're going to recognise immediately, oh, that's an AKSU, or this is an M4 carbine, etc. But there are a lot of weapons in there. When I actually go up and look at them, I go, I don't know what it is, but it just looks really nice. And a lot of the people here, they're really open to you to just go up and have a look and talk about the weapons, and a lot of them have got a real pride in some of these weapons, custom skins and the gadgets and everything. And while some of them, there are a couple of other weapons that are very similar in here, there are lots that are customised to your individual type of play. I noticed there was a Scorpion in there with a red dot, and there was one with a sight and a scope and blah blah blah, and all the different foregrips. So it really is interesting in there. So if you love the whole idea of individualization, then it's totally possible there. So because there are so many roles, so many weapons, so many different types of kit in there, that it's literally endless. So unfortunately for me, the Warthog just wouldn't work today. The MOSFET was flashing 2 red lights, which just means that there is a problem with the wiring. Took it to bits, and basically I'm going to have to get the whole thing redone. Doesn't really work since I've got it. So I'm going to be borrowing this little beauty. This is a Scorpion. This is Saxon Scorpion. It's got lasers, flashlights on it, foregrips. It's got all sorts on it. You can excuse the little ribbon hanging off. That's for my camera foregrip light. And Steve really did save the day today. I wasn't expecting the Warthog to go down because it worked perfectly when I was testing it the day before yesterday with everything. But hey ho, that's airsoft. The gods just weren't looking out for me today. That was one of the first problems I had. Then I couldn't use the samurai sword, and then the second camera, the run camera, it was way too overexposed, and then the GoPro had set itself to 30 FPS instead of 6. It's just one thing after another today, and I had a blinding headache. You know, it is what it is. It's just one of those days, I guess. Even the strike paper on the flashbang was missing. Really wasn't my day today, but luckily the marshals came to save me.
Stu, how do you like them?
As before, yeah, just strike it like a match.
There's no matchy stuff on it.
Basically what's happened is when it comes off, sometimes the caps go, so if you've got the other one, your other one's gone as well. Yeah, you've got a thing.
How anti-dramatic.
Get rid. Go. That's shot. No kill!
But saying that, the actual Scorpion itself was a brilliant little thing. It's really manoeuvrable, really small. It absolutely fires out BBs when you get it on full auto. Personally, I preferred it on semi, but brilliant for close quarters. You're a little bit outgunned, obviously, when it comes to the open spaces, and snipers are going to pick you off. But if you can get down, get into those nooks and crannies, this really is an absolute beast. And I wouldn't want to be on the other end of this when it's on full auto, put it that way.
One down.
Is he still in the shed?
Straight through, yeah, straight through. There's another, I can see another blue armband just behind you. Can you see him? Just come up.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hit! Oh, 1 for 1. I'll have some of that.
That's 2 down.
Right, where's respawn? I've lost track of me. Right. 1 for 1. Have it. Ha ha ha. That, ladies and gentlemen, is airsoft.
Okay, so let's get on to some interesting stuff for you guys. This is a Mil-X high output smoke grenade from Enola Gay. And I was given an actual box of these to test. So I'm going to do this now on camera, and what I'll do is I've actually got a second one when we'll go into a little bit more in depth. We'll time it and we'll look at a few other little bits. But on screen now, I'm actually just going to pull this in the woods. I've got the Marshal's jacket on. The idea behind this thinking was, if I can cover myself through smoke with a luminous jacket on, then we know it's quite good. So you have to pull off the safety catch before you actually pull the safety pin. And this produces white smoke. These do come in different colours, and this is the top of the range. This is the top of the line smoke from Enola Gay, and as you can see, it's pumping out quite a lot. According to the actual information that's actually on the smoke grenade, this thing should burn for 1.5 minutes. I don't think it actually was burning that long. Although, as you can see on screen now, there is actually a second plume of smoke coming through there. And as you can see, that's me with the luminous jacket on. Just seeing whether you can actually see me coming through that smoke. And how actual thick the smoke is. Now, I can tell you, as soon as you actually walk into that smoke, you literally cannot see your hand in front of your face. It really is dense, thick smoke. Getting a little bit further out, it really does thin off quite quickly. As I said, it really wasn't a minute and a half for me on the burn time. And really for this smoke, if this was in a building or a compound or somewhere indoors, close, you know, like in the cabins and things, this would be really, really effective. I think, personally, this is better for more signal smoke than it is for hiding manoeuvres and things like that, unless you throw this upwind and run, you know, say 10-15 foot away into the smoke, then quite effective. Otherwise, as you can see on screen, it kind of leaves a fog, which is, I suppose, at distance, if you've got snipers or people moving slowly out in the distance, it is going to cover your position slightly. It's just not quite, you know, when you see on the movies when a smoke grenade goes off in a game, it's like 50 foot wide, you cannot see anything. It's certainly not that effective, to be honest with you, but for what it is, quite a good smoke. But I think these are quite expensive. I was told these are around £10 each, which is kind of expensive when you can get a whole day's gaming for 25 quid. But that is the Mil-X. This is going to burn for about another 10 minutes now, giving off a little plume of smoke. And as I follow the camera up, you'll see throughout the woods, it does give a really nice smoky, foggy effect. Just pan up and see what you think. As you can see, out up there, further up, it really is quite foggy. Next up, we have the EG18X, which is basically, I think it stands for extra large, but it's not as big as the Mil-X one that we've actually just looked at, and this one's actually a slightly different mechanism. On this one, we've actually got this pull string, and you have to make sure you pull it horizontally. If you pull it vertically, it will not work. Really quite a nice strong green from this smoke grenade. I have seen some smoke grenades where the colour is really sort of wishy-washy, but this was really nice and strong. As you can see, this thing really is churning out some smoke here. Again, quite a lot of smoke in this one, but again, I just feel like these are more impactful as signal smoke. As you can see, it looks on screen now like it's really thick, but that's because I'm actually walking directly into the plume. And what you'll notice is I'm going to put some jerky footage on screen now. I actually just walked around and put the camera on the floor, and by the time, 10-15 seconds later, you can see the smoke has completely dissipated. Again, this will give you a slight coverage in the distance from the smoke. If you threw it near to the enemy, it probably would give you some good coverage. But regarding this as a complete smoke screen, as you can see, it's quite good down there by the time it's dissipated. And the smoke actually did hang around probably for a little bit longer than the Milix one, which is kind of strange. But whether it justifies the price, I'm not too sure.
So I'm going to keep it quite short today. I'm not going to do a really long, in-depth full video, because one of the cameras' battery's gone down. It's really strange, the batteries on some of these cameras. They just seem to randomly go, and other times they last much longer, even though I'm still in the same environment. It's still cold. So today has really been interesting, as in problems again with the Warthog. It's going to have to go back in and have a complete rewire, I think.
So before I end this actual video, I think we'll go out on the field and we'll have a look at some of the other players, what they're wearing, the gear, the guns and things like that. And then I shall call this the end of this video. I am hoping to do a few more airsoft sites and even dabble into the wonderful world of Milsim. And I hope you guys will join me on that journey. But let's have another look around before I say goodbye and see what everybody else is up to on the field. Not entirely sure what this is. I don't think it's an L96, but this is a HPA, and this thing is as quiet as a crisp packet. Have a listen to this.
Crack one off.
There's one across to the right.
And do an action shot. Wait!
On it, come on it.
Yeah!
Yeah, take your time, very tactical.
Juggernaut!